All right, let's do another somatic workout. Today we're going to be focusing on glute stability, balance, and a lot of just core stability, alignment, and balance here. So this is going to be a workout that uses only bands. There is a dumbbell exercise, but you don't have to use it. So we're starting off here. We're getting our spine aligned. We're getting our core engaged by stacking our rib cage over our pelvis so that our back, so that our spine is super straight up and down, as you can see here. And we are doing alternating foot raises. So here it is from the front. We're just raising our foot, keeping the same distance between our feet here, while also maintaining that really straight spine where we're pulling our belly button back to our spine, keeping our pelvis and our rib cage stacked on top of one another. So you're gonna do 20 reps of that alternating. Then we're gonna go into a standing version of this. So we're gonna put the foot again around the tops of our feet here, and then we're gonna make sure that we line up our spine correctly here. So I like to take a big breath in and open and extend my back like that, then exhale, turning my rib cage down, aligning it with my pelvis, and pulling my belly button back to my spine. So for this foot raise, we're gonna do 10 reps on each side instead of alternating. So I want you to keep that foot super flexed. And yeah, you can use something to stand, like something to hold to stabilize you, like a bench, a wall, or a pole like this. If doing it without a pole or something to hold on to is too difficult. So we're gonna do 10 reps each side here, single leg. And as you're pulling your knee up, you're gonna be taking a breath in, pulling that belly button into your spine as you're breathing in and pulling that knee up, and exhaling on the way down. And when you're pulling up, roll that pelvis almost underneath you to tighten your core even more as you're bringing your knee up to the front. And this exercise really makes you focus on that stability of your standing straight leg here. So you'll really feel the inside of your glute muscles, your glute medius working here to stabilize yourself. I love this exercise. Another cue for this exercise is to make sure on that standing foot, you're really pushing full pressure of your foot into the floor. I swear it makes you feel like you have a Clydesdale leg. It feels so strong. So really focus on pushing that foot into the floor. So after we do one round of standing, we're gonna try it with some dumbbells. And I do a couple different variations here. So I start off by doing 5 reps on one leg and then 5 reps on the other leg while holding those dumbbells on top of my shoulders, keeping my elbows elevated, not dropping my elbows here. And then I go into trying it with a shoulder press. So I'm gonna practice getting my stomach aligned here, getting my core aligned here, getting my belly button pulled back to my spine before I go into it, because this one is a really difficult move to hold the dumbbells overhead while performing this movement. So you absolutely don't have to do this shoulder pressed variation of this exercise. If you have dumbbells and you're going to be using them, you can just keep them stacked on top of your shoulders for a little bit of extra weight challenge in this movement if you've already mastered doing it without any weight and without holding a stick to support you. So this is just another level difficulty up. So again, breathe in as you're bringing your knee up, pushing the other foot into the floor, full pressure, allowing your pelvis to kind of roll forward, keeping that belly button pulled to your spine, and breathing with every single rep. Breathing in, bringing knee up, exhaling on the way down, keeping that core tight the entire time and keeping that spine alignment. So now we're going to be focusing on your abduction and adduction for your glutes while holding a really strong core, standing up completely straight. So first I got my core and my pelvis and my rib cage aligned by pulling my rib cage down to stack on top of my pelvis, pulling my belly button in to my spine. And I'm using 2 bands here to just do a standing abduction. You can just use one if you want. You can use it around your ankles or you can use it around your thighs. It doesn't matter. I put 2 on just to make it a little bit more challenging and have a little bit more force on my abduction. But what you want to do here is just really focus on the stability of that standing leg. Again, you're going to really feel it in your glute medius here, trying to stabilize you in this movement. So the first round of that, I did standing up straight, completely straight with my pelvis in the upright position. Now I'm doing it hinged. So I'm slightly leaned forward at my hips, and I'm just doing the same abduction movement, just hinge forward, just to get a different angle of working my abductor here. And I'm doing 10 reps of each of these exercises for each leg. So again, you saw me get my ribs stacked on top of my pelvis before starting the movement. I always take a big breath in before I start, and then exhale, pulling my rib cage down to a line over my pelvis. So doing 10 reps on that side in the hinged position for this band abductor movement. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the bottom ankle band off, and we're going to do another variation of abduction here. This one's going to be another hinged variation, just slightly different. So again, I'm going to get my rib cage stacked above my pelvis, hinge forward, bend that working leg knee, and I'm going to really drive my knee open and open up my hips. And so what this does is it causes my standing leg, my hips, to rotate open. And so you're really working that abductor muscle, your glute medius muscle, being able to rotate your hips and have that stability with rotating hips and with a rotating plane of your body. So take a breath in, get your rib cage stacked over your pelvis on the exhale, hinge forward, bend that knee, and then open your hips, driving your hip and your knee, driving your knee up as high as you can go to really open that hip. And you'll feel that little rotation in your standing leg as you're opening your hip, and you'll feel that muscle working in your glute, and it's amazing. So 10 reps each side of that one as well. So 3 variations of the abduction. Now we're going to do some adduction. So working on our inner thigh strength and the stability of our standing leg again. So put that band, it could be double wrapped or single wrapped, around your ankle. Stand completely straight upright. Get your rib cage stacked above your pelvis. Get that working leg slightly pointed forward in front of your other foot, and just close the gap between the band and your foot. So just continue bringing that foot closer to your other foot, staying really stable on your non-working leg there, breathing with every single rep. We're going to do 10 reps each side of this adduction move. So take a big breath in, open your rib cage, exhale, lower your rib cage to stack above your pelvis, stand super straight on that quote unquote non-working leg, keeping those hips aligned, that pelvis aligned, pulling that working leg foot closer to your standing foot, and really stabilizing yourself on that straight leg here. And make sure you're breathing with every rep, and you're maintaining a tight core with your belly button pulled back to your spine the whole time. Your breath should really be in your chest area, breathing in and out from your rib cage and holding a tight core. So now we're going to do it from our knee for the adduction. So wrap that band around above your knee. You can do one side above your knee, one under your kneecap to be more comfortable. Stand super straight upright, breathing with every rep. Pull that belly button into your spine. Close the gap with your foot, bringing your other leg to your foot with that leg slightly slanted forward, and do 10 reps of that. So then we're going to switch sides here and do the exact same thing, wrapping it above our knee. And we're going to take a big breath in, opening our rib cage, exhaling, lowering our rib cage, aligning with our pelvis, stacking our rib cage over our pelvis. And then we're going to stand super strong on that straight leg, making our glute medius and our glutes and our hips just keep us very stable here. We're really trying to challenge your hip and glute strength and core strength when you are imbalanced and when you're working against resistance away from your body. So that was two variations of the adduction. Now we're going to do a hinged forward one, and we're going to do adduction. So what I did here is actually I did 10 with my foot like pointed outward behind me, and then I did 10 with my foot turned in, which you'll see here in a second. So hinged forward, bent knee, doing adduction, closing that gap between my thighs, standing super strong on my straight leg here. And then this is where I kind of turn my foot to be behind me, and I'm pulling my leg inward for that adduction movement. So I did 10 reps of both of those variations. You don't have to do that. You can just do like a simple straight bent leg adduction here and do 10 reps or 20 reps if you want to. I just like to switch up angles and variations and do things differently and just get all these different working angles of my body to be strong. So that's why I did the 2 different variations, but you don't have to. Maybe you'll get to see it a little bit better on this side, but for this one you can see my foot is kind of like slanted outward, like my knee is kind of hinged inward for these reps, and really just focusing on closing the gap with my thigh. It just is kind of a different angle when you turn your foot. And now I got my foot pointed more behind me, like more inward, and I'm pulling my knee closer to my other knee, and it's just a different sensation. So try it out, see if you feel the difference. It feels like you're working the muscle differently, but it's a good time. So that was the workout. I hope you enjoyed it.